This is a PowerPoint presentation on equal employment opportunity history and laws, a presentation by Kara Rogers. What is an EEO? An EEO is an abbreviated term that stands for Equal Employment Opportunities. This term is used to describe laws, regulations, and processes related to fair treatment of employees. Equal employment opportunities provide freedom from discrimination on the basis of protected classes such as race, color, sex, national origin, religion, age, disability, or genetic information. History behind EEOs. EEO laws were created due to a growing civil unrest among the people of the United States due to segregation and discrimination. This unrest was named the Civil Rights Movement. On June 19, 1963, President John F. Kennedy sent comprehensive civil rights legislation to Congress. The legislation would come to be known as the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The bill was passed July 2, 1964, and would become effective 1 year later. EEO laws. EEO laws. EEO laws were created to help eliminate discrimination in the workplace. EEO compliance is overseen by two regulatory agencies, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC, and the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, the OFCCP. Equal Pay Act of 1963, passed by Congress in June of 1963 as an amendment to the Fair Labor Standards Act. This prohibits discrimination in pay on the basis of gender for individuals performing jobs with the same skill, effort, responsibility, and working conditions unless there is a factor other than gender used to determine the pay difference. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, passed June 19th of 1964 after 534 hours of debate and 500 amendments. Prohibits discrimination that includes, but is not limited to, public accommodations, governmental services, and education. Title VII of the Act prohibits employment discrimination based on race, sex, color, religion, and national origin. Title VII was the basis for the creation of the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission, EEOC, whose mission is to eliminate workplace discrimination. Age Discrimination in Employment Act of 1967 protects individuals over the age of 40 from age discrimination in employment. Applies to companies with 20 or more employees. Amended in 1990 to prohibit employers from denying workers benefits based on age. Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, signed into law in July 1990 by President George W. Bush, prohibits discrimination in employment practices against qualified individuals with disabilities who can perform the job with or without reasonable accommodation. Amended in 2008 to clarify reasonable accommodation and expand upon the definition of major life activities. Civil Rights Act of 1991, an amendment to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, intended to strengthen and improve federal civil rights and employee rights, addresses rights of U.S. employees working abroad, prohibits race norming, eliminates mixed motive defense, and clarifies the burden of proof in disparate impact cases. Family Medical Leave Act of 1993, passed by Congress in 1993, requires companies with 50 or more employees to grant up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for one's own illness or the illness of an immediate family member. Amended in 2008 to allow for families of soldiers who are to be deployed to take extended leave and/or to care for the wounded. Amended again in 2015 to redefine the definition of spouse to include eligibility for same-sex marriages. Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978, passed in 1978 as an amendment to Title VII, prohibits employers from discriminating against women because of pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical condition. Employers must make same accommodations for pregnancy that they would for other temporary disabilities. Conclusion. As Christians, we are taught not to judge others. God teaches us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Mark 12:31. I truly believe we must take this with us as we go into a managerial role in the workplace. As a Christian in management, we are given the opportunity to present as a positive leader and can lead by example through honest, reliable, hard work, setting the tone of trustworthiness in the workplace that will have a positive effect on your employees and organization. Leading by example is one of the most effective tools we have as a Christian. Creating a diversified workplace based on talent and skill, not prejudices, can be most rewarding.